Many presidents in the United States have failed to properly fix the problems of their people. Oftentimes, their decision-making has only hurt the majority of people instead. It seems to be that no matter who is elected, nobody is fit for the job. Every president, uncoincidentally, ages drastically within a single term. In every election, there will always be a losing party who is disappointed by the result. That is how the election process is currently set up, which will only lead to a more divisive country between two factions that struggle for power. However, there is actually a way to prevent half of the nation from hating the president. In order to provide the people with a figure who everyone can root for and unite us all, the Constitution should be amended so that there are multiple presidents to take on the strenuous workload. If this institution were to be implemented, it would not be the first time. The first nation to use this strategy also happens to be the top country in the world, Switzerland. Switzerland houses a very happy and joyous population, which in part is contributed by their peaceful political landscape. Their peace is maintained by a federal council of 7 presidents who are all equal in power. It makes sense why the United States and Switzerland are so different. In America, the power of the presidency is already too much for one given person, and has also only led to further corruption by those who wield it. The United States of America attempts to nerf the president by having checks and balances among the 3 branches, but this has not at all shied presidents in the past or the present from overstepping the lines of their authority in order to complete their agenda, whether it be Donald Trump facing 0 consequences for his impeachment or his crimes, or when Obama authorized the military without congressional approval, or when Bill Clinton used the line item veto as if he was still the governor of Arkansas. Fortunately, the Supreme Court vetoed this power, but simply relying on the judicial branch is not enough insurance. Having presidents of opposite affiliations will ensure that neither one will overstep their power. By electing at least 2 presidents, with each one representing either the Democrats or Republicans, elections will no longer stir outcry among voters. Instead of fighting about who has a better idea, multiple presidents will work together to find optimal solutions for the people's issues while maintaining a balance that doesn't pit the parties against each other. The main weakness in having a singular president is that they cannot represent both the Democrats and the Republicans at the same time. For example, the last 3 presidents was Democrat Barack Obama, Republican Donald Trump, then Democrat Joe Biden, and now back to Republican Donald Trump. What this means is that the United States is constantly being led by a leader of different values who will only undo the changes that the previous president worked so hard to establish. Progress is never made because Democrats and Republicans can only take turns in leading the country without having long-term agency. This party rivalry is caused partly by the competition from an election, but when that gets taken out of the equation, these co-presidents can team up to blend the best of both parties together and revive the dead patriotism within this nation. If both major parties have access to their own president, the focus now shifts on having more civil discussions about politics among Americans. Electing multiple presidents will reshape the current state of American politics, which has only continued to direct the country into further turmoil. Another benefit that comes from having 2 presidents is that if one of the presidents were to ever be assassinated or for some reason had to stop being president, there's already a substitute that's more prepared than if the vice president were to just replace them, which would not be as good.